Alright, YouTube, this is Garage Trains coming at you. Brutus from Garage Trains. I used to go by Inco924, but decided to use my old high school nickname and on this channel. But what I'm going to talk about today is a subject that gets a lot of coverage, but it seems like that when you start talking about decals and model trains or diecast cars or models, that everybody wants to talk about micro set and micro saw, which are two good products. This is not a video to badmouth those products, but this is a video to show you some alternatives to micro set and micro saw. Also, alternatives for decals. Now, what you see here are some Norfolk Southern. This is shell scale decals for Norfolk Southern. I have an inkjet printer for the family, and I can't print in white, so I have to buy my white decals like Norfolk Southern. And this is a really good company that I recommend. The other option, let me back up here, shell scale, you can order through their website. This is another option, another company, micro scale decals, and micro scale I believe is who makes micro set and micro saw. They're very good decals. This is some of my CSX intermodal decals. I actually got this one at my local hobby shop, and give a shout out to those guys up at Oak Mountain Hobbies in Pelham, Alabama. Great little hobby shop. They got a lot of good train stuff, and I think they're getting a website going, but I always like to stop by there and get some products from them off of Highway 31 in Pelham, Alabama, which is in near Birmingham. Alright, so the other option, and this is one that I use quite often, this is the decal paper from Testors. Picked this up at Hobby Lobby. This is the inkjet compatible decal paper, clear. The only problem that I found is you have to use dark colors. The lighter colors will not show up on your model. So if you're going with a dark blue or black or some dark purple, dark red, this works fine. If you try to do even like I tried to do the other day, like this kind of golden yellow CSX color, and it just wouldn't do it. Okay, it may just be my printer. I have a HP 5700 inkjet, but this is a good option if you're going to be printing stuff in black and dark colors. Alright, the last option is, believe it or not, is just some Avery labels. And this is, you got to be careful because Avery has rebranded a lot of their stuff and eliminated some products. You want the glossy clear. Don't go with the clear. They're frosted and they will not work. But what you can do with these is you can actually go into the Avery's got a real good program that helps you create your labels, and I've used that program to design some of my decals. Printed off some really small CSX decals for my diecast trucks, some of my CSX trucks. This worked great. Now, the edge is not real smooth because this is a little thicker than these other decal. These are designed for decals. This is actually a label, but it will work. And there's some tricks you can do to make it look a little better. I don't really recommend this using this except if you're working with stuff that's really small and you think that you might need something that's got adhesive on the back. And my eyesight's not what it once was, so when I was doing some 187 CSX trucks, this worked great. Now, once you get your decal printed and once you get your decal ready to put on the product, the model, this is what I recommend. This is Testor's decal set. This is the famous vinegar and water blend, I guess, or there might be some other products in there, but it's my understanding that this is very similar to micro set, and it works really well. It softens the decal. It also helps the decal adhere to the surface. So you would take a paintbrush and dip it in here and put a little bit on your model, and then put your decal on, and then if you need to soften it because you may have a crease or a ridge or a valley on your model, this helps to soften it and helps it adhere and look better on the model. Now, micro set does the same thing. Once you get to that point, the advantage, it's my understanding, to micro sol is a solvent. It is a plastic solvent, and it will help you if you have a decal that needs to be further softened. You go with the micro sol, and it also helps the decal adhere to the model better. Okay, so I don't have micro sol, so what did I substitute, and what do I substitute? Because I have several different methods. Normally, if I've got a model where I can spray some clear coat, I will spray some clear coat like Decal here. This is a clear coat. Decal is an enamel. A lacquer. And I love lacquer because it dries quickly. You need to spray this over a base coat that's lacquer. You can also spray this over an enamel base coat. Okay. But you can't on this Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover Clear. This is an enamel. You don't want to spray that over lacquer because it will wrinkle. So if you've got enamel base coat, this is a good product to spray over your decal to help it seal. You can also use this Testor's gloss coat, top coat, which I believe is a lacquer. But if you don't want to use clear coat and you want your model to be like, I just recently did some Norfolk Southern GP38 locomotives. I don't want to put clear coat over flat black because that makes it glossy. So I took my paintbrush and I coated my decals with this tree wax high gloss premium finish for vinyl and no wax floors. Now, basically, if you know anything about the old linoleum and vinyl floors, the vinyl floor wax, and this is actually a sealer and a finish. I looked for the Johnson & Johnson products, but I couldn't find it. I actually found this at Russell Do-It Center, which is a hardware store, because I don't think folks are using linoleum in their homes anymore. So it's getting hard to find, but this is basically a sealer for plastic. And it works great for decals. Okay, it goes on and it looks a little foggy when you put it on, but once it dries, it's crystal clear and there's no residual that I can tell most of the time. So I love it, okay, and that's what I use most of the time now. I've quit using the clear coats because the lacquer clear coats have a tendency to soften the decal too much, and the enamel doesn't soften it at all. So, in a nutshell, that's what I do, okay? Now, I'm not sitting here saying that my methods are better than using micro set and micro sol. I'm just saying that there are alternatives out there, and these are some that I use. So, anyway, for Garage Trains, Brutus is out.